What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this special episode of the A to B podcast. We are here doing an emergency session today because there was something that happened over social media over this past few days, right? So I'm joined today by my co-host, Barry Bull. We're not gonna do any, the regular introductions. We're just gonna try to get right to the story. So I'm gonna tell it, and I'm gonna give your opinion before we go any further.
All right,
I'll let you get your piece in. So what happened is this sergeant major, second Anglican sergeant major, decided to start trolling on social media. It all started because he commented on a video that you and I did over a year ago, where I was explaining my situation and what I had to go through to get my skill bridge package approved. That was the very first thing that happened. He commented, 14 years, I served 14 years, so I deserve it, and two smiley faces. What I did was I went into, his profile because I saw that there was a picture. Usually, like those things like that, I don't pay attention to them unless they have a picture on it, because I think it's like some random troll, and I'm not gonna, go one-on-one with a troll.
Sure.
But turns out that this guy was a sergeant major, and
Is
a sergeant major. Well, we'll see about this after this conversation. So, it's a sergeant major, and he is the second Anglican sergeant major. He's been serving for 25 years. He was Motor T Pro. I know this because you guys can look up his biography in the second MEF
Sergeant Major
website.
Salgado.
Sergeant Major Jose Salgado. Yes. So that's his name. And then essentially what happened was...
We're dropping names.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, for this one, might as well. The internet knows already.
You did. Okay. But yes.
So what ended up happening was me and him started to go back and forth. And it reminded me of that back and forth that I went with that lieutenant colonel that posted on Twitter, and then I did a video on him.
Yeah.
On that Twitter.
The one where I did the video on the PFC not getting paid.
Yes.
And
correct.
He took it a whole different...
So it was a very similar story.
Yeah.
And he had a very similar response because he also posted smiley faces.
Sure.
Right?
We like to use emojis.
Yes.
I don't.
And then he addressed me in my DMs.
I like that move.
Like a grown-up.
I like that move.
And he even gave me his phone number, and we ended up having like an hour-long conversation.
Sure.
And we squashed it right then and there. It was like, oh, man, like, I know you might have a thing or two to say about him. Because
I'm good. Lieutenant Colonel, sir. I know you're a CO. I have no hard feelings.
Yeah, so, but he was cool. I was like, dude, he even...
And we follow each other on X.
Yeah, and he even said, it's like, dude, whenever you come to Okinawa, which I'm coming to Okinawa here soon, let me know and I'll be on the podcast. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, that's how I thought the interaction with the sergeant major was going to go.
But you were... not correct.
I was incorrect.
Okay.
So we're gonna be teaching senior enlisted and officers, I guess, on how to conduct themselves.
This is your hip pocket class from the A to B podcast.
So I guess how to teach them how to conduct themselves whenever it comes to addressing me specifically, because I know you don't care that much whenever it comes you don't really take that stuff like head on. I take it head on. The reason for it is because
you don't miss it, dog.
Yeah.
You will boom.
But the reason why, if I get this type of comments from a sergeant,
yeah,
I leave it right there.
Of course.
Okay? Because it's a sergeant, I'm not gonna get into it. But when a senior enlisted advisor, which is different, which is utilizing his rank, his influence, his billet, everything to talk bad about me, and then you went in there. You got put in there too.
Yeah.
To talk bad.
Well, because I was watching the whole thing unfold, and I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah. So whenever that happened,
as I'm sure everybody was watching.
Yeah. So whenever that happened, I was like, dude, like this guy keeps messing, and we message each other on Sunday evening. And I told him, like, dude, I don't think you're a bad person.
But this was in the comments, correct?
Yes, this is in the comments.
This was not like a DM or a text message.
All in the comment section.
Okay.
And
why? Okay, go ahead.
No. Well, what were you?
Why did you consider DMing him, or were you thinking, okay,
If he started it, if I would have had something to say, which I've done, by the way, with what's her name, Gunnery, the motivated Gunnery Sergeant Givens or Evans, whatever,
something like that,
yeah, something like that. We had a similar thing to where we went at it in the comments, and then I went ahead and I initiated because I was the first one that commented on her post.
Sure.
Okay, so I initiated the conversation in the DMs because I was the one that initiated the confrontation.
I agree, right? Like if I have something I really want to say to you, I'm not airing dirty laundry in the comments, especially if I know it's going to be negative.
Yeah,
I'm going to come to you and be like, "Hey."
Yeah, we went at it for a little bit at the comments, but once I saw, it's like, listen, man, like let me just talk to her. She left me on red, by the way, but so she didn't feel the need.
She don't like me.
Yeah, well,
I still follow her. It's okay.
But anyways, going back to the original subject, if he was the one that started it, I would have. If I would have been the one that started it, I would have been in his DMs.
I think that's proper, social media protocol.
Yeah, but I wasn't the one that started, and he wanted to continue. He kept trolling everybody with like this very condescending tone. It's like, do I? Do we? And I got screenshots. You erased all your shit, but I still got screenshots.
Well, he shut his account down, the Sergeant Major?
No, he blocked us.
Okay,
He blocked us, and he made his stuff private.
Got it.
Okay? Which, it's stupid because I
didn't say anything to the guy.
Yeah.
And I got blocked, Sergeant Major.
I still know people that follow you that got access to all your stuff, so it's pointless. Okay? like people think that that's going to be like their one way of hiding.
Sure.
It's not going to be their one way of hiding. I promise you. It's not going to be there's nowhere to hide on social media.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
So fast forward, that was Sunday evening. What I told him, like, hey man, like
today for reference is Tuesday afternoon, guys.
Yeah. So that was Sunday evening. I left it there. I woke up the next morning. I was like, I didn't even think about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then I see that he went back to Instagram. And then he said some comments. He started spamming people
because the video was posted on both platforms.
So I was like, he goes to Instagram. He starts spamming over there. I ignore him because I was like, we squashed this, right? Like we're
good.
This. Yeah, we're good. So he can comment whatever he wants. But then he goes back on TikTok.
He's not done.
Yeah, and then he says, ma'am, be careful who you listen or take advice from. I'm paraphrasing. I'll probably put it here in the video. Be careful who you listen to or take advice from, because there's a reason they no longer serve. They no longer serve.
I got drug into it.
Got drug into it.
I got fired when I wasn't even at work.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like you got drug into it for some fucking reason. But it was like, I was like, oh,
motherfucker.
It's like, is this really what we're doing today?
I know that tone. Yeah.
And then I went ahead and I reminded myself of the comment that he left early on Sunday saying, like, I'm too busy taking care of Marines, because actually
that one I did see that one. That one stuck out to me.
Yeah, I was like, I'm too busy. I would love to, but I'm too busy taking care of Marines.
Yeah, because you were like asking him legit stuff, and it was like, a very condescending way to say this is beneath me.
Yeah, exactly.
But then, in fact, it turned out that it was not beneath him.
It was not beneath him. And then I reminded him on Monday morning around 9 o'clock in the morning. They're in the East Coast, so it was probably 10:30 or whatever, 10:30, 11.
Yeah.
Actually, it was less time than that, because that's when I saw the comments. I saw the comments at 9 o'clock.
Sure.
And the comments already had an hour, a couple of minutes posted, right? So I looked at it and I'm like, okay, I thought you were too busy to be talking shit and to actually address your actual point. He was like, oh, looking after Marines is telling them not to listen to you. And he said, plus, I don't take commands from gunnies, in quotation marks. I'm like,
I saw that one, and that one bothered me, dog.
Yeah. So,
and I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
It bothered me because it's like, you're not better than somebody because you outrank them.
Correct.
And if we're a real leader, it's not about who works for who, okay? It's about right and wrong, professional and unprofessional, good or bad. And if you're one of my gunnies, I want you to realize every dream and goal you ever had set for yourself. That's my job.
Yeah.
It's not to tell you that I don't take command. It ain't about a command. Nobody's commanding anybody.
Yeah. So that's what he said. And then I said, like, first of all, it's sir to you. Because I'm about that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You came. He was being petty.
Because I match his energy. Like, if he wants to go
He was being petty.
Yeah, and I can match that energy.
And he was definitely trolling.
Yeah, he was.
Because that was a lot of comments he left right there.
Yeah, so
it was just boom, 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 boom.
So and then that's why it's sir to you when he was like, try giving me an order. I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're going to be waiting, all right. And like, you're going to be waiting, all right. So I go into his social media, and then I start just simply looking, right? I'm like, hold on a second. This guy's always PTing.
Yeah.
But then his most recent picture, he looks fat as hell. And then I'm like,
say it isn't so.
I'm sorry. Like, you look fat, dude. Like straight up. Like, if I was if the roles were reversed, and I was a sergeant major, I'm looking at that Marine, I'm telling that Marine right then and there, step on the scale.
Yeah.
Like sergeant majors are allowed to do, right? Which that's the reason why, because we're going to be calling his CO.
Whoa.
We're going to be calling his CO.
Bum, bum, bum.
And the reason why we're calling his CO is because comes to find out, he actually gave me a dare, and I'm really good with dares, dude. If you dare me, I'm gonna try.
He dared you? What did he dare you?
He dared to find somebody that can talk bad about him as a leader. So when I posted his video, turns out that I got like 5 DMs from your Marines at 2nd Anglico that I don't know, they don't like the way that you were sergeant major, and we're gonna be addressing that today.
Here's my thing. The whole time, I was watching these comments. Sergeant Major, I got to tell you, man, I don't know you. I'm not here to speak bad on you, okay? But here's what I'll say. I don't appreciate me getting drug into it. I was over here on the sidelines trying to sit on the bench like a good little schoolboy. But anyways, this is a lesson for you guys out there on active duty, okay? If you're gonna troll somebody, you're pretty much entering into an unwinnable battle, okay? As a civilian, I can I can say whatever I want to say. I can post as much as I want to post about anything I want to post about. And if that happens to be you, I can do that. You, on the other hand, can't, Sergeant Major. And, yeah.
So I had a couple of questions for that CO.
Sure.
Because Marines came out saying that there was command climate surveys. And when they were having the staff meeting about the command climate surveys, and it was identified that morale was low at 2nd Anglico, the CO's response was good.
Come on.
And he said that he made morale low in the first place to see how his Marines would respond. And I was like, that doesn't sound right. You know, but then when I saw that sergeant major, I was like, well, this is definitely something allowable. Because if I'm gonna tell you this, if I put myself in the position to where I'm a command sergeant major and the COs ramble some nonsense like that, I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick break. Sir, can you and I have a conversation real quick? It's like, what the fuck are we doing? You know? So anyways, that's essentially what happened. So, and here's the catch, right? I was going to call the duty and see what the response was, but one of your Marines actually gave me your direct phone number. Yes, your cell phone, sir. That's how I got it. One of your Marines gave me your cell phone, okay? And they said that I should call you directly and ask you those questions. So that's exactly what I'm going to do, because this is accountability. This is the type of accountability that our new administration wants. Okay? And I already know that I'm a nobody in the Marine Corps. Okay? If you're going to be like, who the fuck are you? I already know. Okay? But that does not stop me just because I'm a nobody from actually doing this and just having a conversation. I'm not going to be confrontational. I only want to have a conversation. And I'm going to tell you this, and then I'll go to you, Barry. I'm going to tell you this. Based on your reaction, I'm going to put your phone number, your personal phone number out there for everybody to call you and text you. You might want to need a new number depending on how this interaction go. Barry.
For everybody, for context and for everybody's education, morale as it pertains to being a leader in the Marine Corps, and something that we're all evaluated on as sergeants and above, and that does include commanding officers. In this case, it's a lieutenant colonel. On our fitness report evaluation that we get periodically throughout the year at different stages in our career, Section F, leadership states, number 1, leading subordinates, the inseparable relationship between leader and led, the application of leadership principles, you probably should know what those are, to provide direction and motivate subordinates. Your job, part of it is to motivate them. Using authority, persuasion, and personality to influence subordinates to accomplish assigned tasks. Last point, sustaining motivation and morale while maximizing subordinates' performance.
Where you found that at?
This is Section F on the fit rep.
Okay.
This is the fit rep.
So in other words, his colonel, if he's a lieutenant colonel, there's probably going to be either a colonel or a general that's going to be writing his fitness report. Correct. That can reflect on on the lieutenant colonel's fitness report.
Morale is a part of how we get evaluated as leaders.
Okay, got you. I appreciate that clarification. I love that.
That's why I never understood why people said the beatings will continue until morale improves. It's like, your job is to, stoke that fire, motivate those Marines out there and sailors, and and help them to be better versions of themselves.
Yeah. What do you think is going to happen once we call this guy? Before we call him, what do you think is going to happen?
I don't think he's going to answer. But if he answers, I think he's going to be very
confrontational.
No. I think he's going to hold his cards close to his chest, and then as soon as he's done, he's going to call a sergeant major in the office.
Yeah. Well, if he doesn't pick up, I'm calling the duty. And then after that, I'm calling the XO. And then if the XO doesn't pick up, I'm talking to somebody today.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm talking to somebody. Let's go ahead and let's get it started, okay? I'm going to keep his number private for now until I see the response that he gives.
Leave a message.
First attempt. Let's call him back. Let's put some fire in the conversation.
Maybe he didn't. He's like, oh, I don't know this number.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
You could text him and say, I'm a concerned civilian.
He could be in a meeting too.
Leave a message.
Hey, sir. Good afternoon. My name is Albert Ramos with the A to B podcast. I'm calling you because I received your phone number from one of your Marines. And I don't know if you're aware of the things that transpired yesterday on social media regarding Sergeant Major Salgado. I just wanted to have a conversation with you about it because I am a very, very concerned veteran. And we want to see what accountability measures are going to happen with this Sergeant Major. And I also had a couple of other questions that I want to address with yourself before this actually goes public, sir, because if you do not call me back or if you don't text me back or there's no type of communication back, I will be going public with this information. And I just want to ensure that our military, and more specifically the Marines that you guys lead in 2nd Anglico, are being taken care of and they don't feel that their morale is not going to be supported. So if you can please give me a phone call back at this number, or you can actually text me and I'll call you back, I definitely appreciate it. Thank you, sir. You have a great day. What do you think?
That was very well said.
Do you think that was very well said?
Yeah, because I was like, man, what's he going to say? That was good. And here's where you got him. The hook for him to call you back was going public with the information and stuff like that. I guarantee he knows about it.
Yeah, he definitely knows about it.
Because I reposted your video just by using a stitch, and it's already got, I don't even know on TikTok. Let me check it.
Yeah, well,
And I don't think I posted it on Instagram. Yeah, it's got 11.6 thousand views
wow,
just on my page.
wow.
And that's just in the last 19
Let
hours.
me see, because I got another phone number that I got sent out yesterday. Hey Siri, call. That is the duty phone number for Second Anglico. Not even the duty's picking up. Oh man.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot of people that saw that video, dog.
Yeah, the duty ain't picking up.
Like, for real.
Let's do this last attempt of calling him back. Actually, I'm gonna give him a second to see if he let me give him a second to see if he what's it called? To see if he reads the message.
Yeah, if I was that Sergeant Major's friend, I would have said, hey, dude, you need to take it to the DMs, man. You do not want to have this out.
Or you just simply don't want to be a hater. You want to be a good, decent human being. How about we can? Because I'm not asking him to agree with me.
Well, yeah, dude. I'm
telling him expose your points. What are your points?
Yeah.
And let's talk about them. Because the problem with that video was the fact that you were he was saying that not all Marines deserve it.
He got, in my opinion, I don't know this. Okay, obviously I'm not him. I feel as a sergeant major, he got hung up on the word deserve. So that's a cuss word in the 8999 community.
Why is that?
Because we don't feel that people really deserve shit. You got to earn your spot. You got to earn it. You don't deserve nothing. I've done this. I've been on 9 deployments, and I've been here and I've been there. Great. You got your orders. Step out. That's how it's viewed. And when you don't do that, I'm not saying that that's how I feel, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm telling you about the Marine Corps specifically. You know, my former community as a 8999 first sergeant and a sergeant major. I mean, that's what it is. You know, and in this case, you were talking about the skill bridge, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday. And you know how I feel about it. We don't do a good job of taking care of our people as they transition.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, and I used to tell my subordinate level leaders, my gunnies, my staff sergeants, my sergeants, my company grade officers, ladies and gentlemen, these guys have proven they are having a hard time in life. They really need us to get involved, okay? Because I know that the guy did cocaine. I know he screwed up like a football bat, okay? But he is going to get out. We don't want this guy to be a burden on our infrastructure. Part of what we do, and this is in the old Marine Corps battle skills test, part of what we do isn't just to make better Marines, it's to return better civilians to society. Okay.
Yeah,
and in our position as leaders and just good people, if we haven't done everything we can, well, then that's my bad.
Yeah.
Period.
So I'm gonna tell you why. And I think before I went on recruiting duty, I would have sided with the sergeant majors. Like, man, the Marine Corps doesn't owe you shit. Until you see the amount of Marines that actually get out and get mistreated on the way out, felt like, you know, it's like, damn, after giving so many years or after giving, you know, everything to this institution, this is how they treated me on the way out.
Here's the recruiting aspect. If you're smart about it, you'll realize that the marketing never stops.
Correct.
You're getting out. The Marine Corps wasn't for you.
That's why I say, if your dumbass would have listened, that's why I said that everyone deserves it. Because why wouldn't you want to make a Marine, which part of our mission, like Dutton mindset always says, like part of our mission is returning quality citizens back to society.
Why. Because he appears, again, I don't know, to not have a holistic approach like you do. You see the bigger picture. Marketing never ends. Because why? You're a dad. You're a husband. You're a brother. You're a father. You're in the community. You're a realtor. You're in the community, right? Dude, I got taken care of so well getting out, you know. I know there's stories out there, but that wasn't my experience, right? You can't say that, right? Because that's not what happened.
Yeah, if I would have decided to be like every other gunny or every other Marine that gets out, I'm like, oh, fuck it, you know, the Marine Corps screwed me. I wasn't going to take that, dude, because I know that the Marine Corps, what is the Marine Corps?
Yeah.
It's a group of fucking people that make up the institution.
And it ends one day.
Yeah, well, not the institution, the people, like the careers do. You see what I'm saying? So I already knew. It's like, dude, you're in no position to tell me no. You're in zero position to tell me no.
You know what I said? This is legit what I used to tell my guys, even the drug pops. I'd get them so pumped up and motivated, dude. Listen, because if you're going to be a champion and a winner, you better believe it before you take that first step, man. You may not even feel like you have a victory to your name, but you better believe it. I'd get these guys fired up, dude. You're gonna listen. And when you start that business, bro, hey, I might need you one day. I'll get your coffee. I'll clean your toilets, bro. You know, hey, I got to get out of the Marine Corps too, buddy. And I'm pulling for you, man. Stay in touch. Listen, I want to hear from you. That's the stuff I would tell these guys because that's what counts, dog. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
We over here talking about the streets of heaven are guarded by U.S. Marines, but we can't even treat you like a decent human being because for one time in my life, I was given a little bit of influence over you, and I beat you over the head with it. Boop.
Yep. All right, let's try it one last time. And then if he doesn't pick up now, his phone number is going public.
Whoa, guys.
Leave a message.
Oh.
Sent you to voicemail.
Send me straight to voicemail. I'm going to send him a message. Hey, sir. Good evening. Or good afternoon over there still, right? Good afternoon. This is Albert Ramos with the A to B podcast. I left you a very important message in your voicemail. Or I left you a very important voicemail. Please get back to me as soon as possible. Thank you very much for your time. All right, so that's the last time I'm gonna try. I'm not even gonna keep fucking wasting my time calling him. When you mistreat people, this is what happens. People want to see. People want to expose you for the freaking, I guess, piece of shit that you are. You know, so it wasn't even that hard to get you guys' and if I'm gonna see. If the CEO, I already have the CEO's personal number, so he's probably shitting his pen already. Like, who the hell in the command gave me my phone number? Well,
that's true though. That is true though.
The person you are trying to reach is not accepting calls at this time.
Wow.
Did the CEO block you?
No. It's like, dude, the numbers that are in the official page for Anglico ain't even correct. There ain't nobody picking up. So this is what happens when Marines go to the brig. Mm-hmm. It's like their masses don't go to the brig if you're in second Anglico because your ass is gonna stay there for God knows how long. All right, let's see. Let me call the number one last time. Let me see. Nope. Dang. All right, well, I guess that is a wrap. All right, guys. So I actually got this message, which I will post right here, and you guys are gonna be able to see it. And after that message, there was a couple of other. I'm not gonna say that they started pouring in, but definitely enough to where this situation needs to be addressed by a higher level echelon of command. Okay, so I'm not in the Marine Corps anymore. You know what that means?
You can do whatever you want.
I can pretty much do whatever the fuck I want. And I afforded the opportunity because obviously we're recording, but we're not live. So I'm recording this, and the reason why this message went out live is because these people are scared. What are they hiding in Second Anglico? that you guys are not willing to have a conversation with somebody that's just simply demanding accountability of seeing where my tax paying dollars are going to, which by the way, I pay way too much in taxes, bro. So it's like that's what I want. So guys, here is what I'm gonna do, okay? If you guys can please assist me, you guys can do it from your personal phone number. I don't suggest that you guys do it from your personal phone numbers, though. Find one of these, apps or whatever, and text Lieutenant Colonel Kovac. He is the commanding officer for 2nd Anglico, in the East Coast. And apparently he doesn't want to pick up my phone, because he doesn't want accountability, but he can allow his sergeant major to do whatever the hell he wants. So I want accountability. I don't know about you guys. If you guys want accountability, call Lieutenant Colonel Kovac at 8 and let him know that you want accountability. You want to know if a current Marine Corps sergeant major is within height and weight standards. So make sure you ask him that. You want to make sure that there is accountability. When was his last time that he supervised his senior enlisted advisor doing a height and weight? Not just a little paper, because that little paper anybody can do a little paper. When was the last time that a officer superior, either the XO, and there's only 2 Marines, correct me if I'm wrong, Barry, there's only 2 Marines that can supervise the sergeant major doing a height and weight. That is the XO, and that is the commanding officer. Mm-hmm. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's only 2 of them that can supervise. I want to see when was the last time that you
Master
supervised
Guns,
the sergeant major.
if he has one.
No, that leaves a lot of things to open. So,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You're talking about, okay, I got
an official height and weight.
Yeah,
not,
yeah,
not
yeah.
like a buddy height and weight. I'm talking about like an official height and weight. So I personally want to know when was the last time that happened. I also want to know, why is it that you have Marines within your unit right now that you're telling them good that morale is low? I want answers to all these things. Marines and us as civilian taxpayers deserve the answer on the reason why you're running the unit like you're doing. Because what it sounds like is that there is not good order and discipline in that unit. And if there is, there's definitely not enough. So I'm going to be waiting. Guys, make sure that you guys go out there and you guys ask them, okay? So Barry, that is pretty much all that I have for this. Unfortunately, he hasn't replied back. I don't think that he will reply back. It's unfortunate. There was a lot of Marines actually that wanted answers, and they're too afraid. I'm gonna read you the specific message that I received. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna read you the very specific message that I received. Let me see, where's it at? Right here. Good morning. I would like to remain anonymous for my husband's sake. He's still active. He just left 2nd Anglico on Lejeune about a certain amount of time ago. And the last 2 videos that you posted was his direct leadership. You are so right about them. It was the most corrupt/toxic leadership he has experienced in his more than 10 years in the Marine Corps, and was the sole reason he wanted to get out. I am so happy to see them being exposed, and we commend you and are so grateful for doing it. Everything you said was spot on. I truly hope you're able to make a little bit of a difference, sending support and love from the East Coast. Not me making this up, guys.
There it is.
That's it, guys. So make sure that you guys go ahead and do that. And Barry, we'll see you in the next one.
This one, there's a ton of clips in here. This needs to get clipped out.
Yeah, 100%. All right, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace, love, and chicken grease.